Hi, I'm Krista, and this is the Hooked Dragon. We did not lose power. Yay! So that's really good news. I think over 4,000 people around us did, though. The storm has been fun to watch. We actually got thunder snow, which, if you check my YouTube shorts, you can watch that, which I thought was pretty cool. Unless you live in the Great Lakes or certain mountains, it's very rare to experience thunder snow. So that was exciting. That's just when thunder and lightning is happening while it is snowing, and even meteorologists will call it a very rare phenomenon. So that's pretty cool. But because we were iced in, um, I'm getting a little cabin fevery. So I made myself busy and started working on this room, which I think I am definitely going to do like a vlogging type video. I've started to look at furniture and things like that that I'd like to put in here, such as a desk and chairs and things like that. But I'm really excited about that. So what I was able to get done since my video on, I can't remember if it came out Friday or Saturday. I think it came out a little bit late on Saturday. Isn't a whole lot, but that is because one of the makes was a big make, and it is a make that I have seen for a long time. And I was actually watching old videos that the Cozy Buckeye had done, and she had made this item, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to make it. And I'm trying to get rid of Bernat, and it's an excellent way to get rid of Bernat and not take an L. So I'm going to start with the big make, and that is Anchor the Octopus by Humble Child Co. And I absolutely love this guy. He is so cool. Um, he did take a while. I'd say the longest part on this is making the tentacles, because you make the inside of the tentacles first, and the outside of the tentacles, and then connect them, and then you have to connect them in around and work your way up. And there are bits that are sewed on, which is the back of his head and his belly. But I was able to get rid of some partial skein of this nasty tonal gray Bernat, which was just very stiff and rough on my hook. And then I was able to get rid of a partial skein and a whole skein of this very mystical Bernat, which actually dyed my hook temporarily pink. But I worked with this nasty gray again on another make, which I'll show you in a moment. And the pink mostly went away off my hook, and you can't see it on the yarn. So this guy is really cool. I used some 20 millimeter. I know it calls for 18 millimeter, but I like the 20 millimeter better. Safety eyes are gold. I'm in love with this guy. I can see why people make this guy multiple times. He's just really cool. Very, very cool. And so that was the first thing I worked on. And I had worked on the legs on Friday night, and then the rest of the parts on like the body and the back of the head and the belly patch on Saturday. And that took me on and off all day on Saturday, and then Sunday morning I sewed them all together. And then all these other makes I'm going to show you are what happened between Sunday and Monday, because today is Monday, January 26th. So next up, I made this loaf cat out of that tonal Bernat. And this loaf cat is a pattern by the Cozy Buckeye, and it's Max the Market Kitty. And I really like this because it's not as big, I feel like. Well, I don't think it's as big as Annie Caraway's version of loaf cat. And I like the way that the ears are on this. And I like that she has a different way of doing the nose. The tail is sewed on, but that takes like 5 seconds. I really like these guys, and they do really well. And then I got that new acrylic bin that I had shown in a previous video, and I'm excited to use that the next market I go to. I've been keeping my eye out for markets that are bigger that I want to be a part of. There's a Viking festival that I really wanted to do, but it just wouldn't work because we would have to go get a hotel. It's far enough away. And then on top of that, we have a dog and a toddler, and I just don't think that that would be ideal. So, but I do have some other markets that I've already applied for or that I'm applying for. So I'm just really excited to test out that neon acrylic bin. Okay, next up, I made some more cable and canvas pop-up fidgets. This one is an acorn, and I'm thinking of putting it in my ball bag and then just slowly building up a couple more of these. These are really fun, and I don't think I've ever shown in the other videos, but when I say pop-up, they just do that. And they're really quick makes and really cute. And then I made the little jellyfish, and I had done it in rainbow colors. So it's very colorful. I think a kid's gonna really like that. This one's really cute. I love this one. It's like a psychedelic little jellyfish. And then I've had these for a while, but I've only made the itty bitty elephant, and I have a whole bunch of the other itty bitties, but I went ahead. I kind of messed up sewing on one of these, one of the, not called the horn, it's called something else, but it's I didn't fully get it in back, but it's fine. It looks fine. But like if you see here, like I should have rotated the horn a little bit more, but I'm just going to say it's the spot. This is the itty bitty giraffe, and I embroidered the eyes on there just because it's, I think it'd be perfect for a baby or someone that's very small. It's easy to hold. So I wanted to make it baby safe, but this guy is super cute. I need to make the cows and the unicorn and the horse still from that. And this is Madeline Mako pattern, but she has since changed her name. And I want to say it's Todd and James, but I'm not sure. But like my other videos, the patterns will be linked in the description below. And then last but not least, like I said, I didn't make very many things this past few days. Plus, I started working on this room, which is going to be in a future video. But I, of course, made another Nyx the Baby Dragon. And this is in the Dreamland, the Lion brand, Dreamland again. Again, don't know the color, but you could easily find out what it is just by looking. And I had used some safety eyes that I just hand painted, and I want to say these are 18 millimeter. Yeah. And then just the white accents for the wing and the bubbles. I'm obsessed with this pattern. Katie needs to come out with more patterns like this because it is so market friendly. It works up so quick, and there are just so many options. Like you could put fur down here. You could make little spikes on the tail or some sort of tail accent and everything. And these do really well for me at markets. These guys are adorable. So again, by Celestial Homebody. And that is all I got made this week and ish. But I've also been glued to the window, and I have some footage of just me rambling outside in the middle of the storm. So I'm going to add that at the end of this video if you want to stick around and watch that. And if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe and like, because I'm going to be pretty consistent with 2 videos a week. And so, yeah. Oh, I will tell you this. The reason I have a different angle, the queen bed is moved. But yes. So anyways, stick around if you want to watch that footage. I'll probably include the thunder snow in there too. That way you don't have to go look at the short if you don't want to. But very cool. Next up, I made this cappuccino. And I started making this last year after I saw What's Up Cupcake make them, and they are just so cute. Little cappuccino comes out, and I'm going to be using Parfait Chunky with this for a... So the winter storm came to northwest Louisiana, and there's already, last time I checked, which was about an hour ago, 4,000 people around there in northwest Louisiana without power. We still have power, but I figured I would just add this because it's not very often that you're going to see snow and ice in Louisiana. It's kind of very rare. Not kind of, it is very rare. We had an almost 80-degree Christmas, and I guess this is just the universe balancing itself. So anyways, there'll probably be little things like this, little updates. This is just the beginning. It started snowing last night at about 1:30 a.m. and it's just been snow, sleet, and everything.